Hello everybody, this is Adam from Waxpack Gods. I hope you're doing well. Like every other baseball fan, I've been following the saga of the 2018-19 free agent class in Major League Baseball, and particularly the long free agency of Craig Kimbrel and Dallas Keuchel. And so I thought it might be interesting after those guys have finally signed, Kimbrel with the Chicago Cubs and Dallas Keuchel with the Atlanta Braves, to just kind of look in and see what types of player we're actually dealing with here. One of the cool things about baseball and sabermetrics is that, we have tools now to kind of look at players across eras that we didn't have before. And baseball has this common and long-running thread of looking at players across the different years. So one game I like to play, I call, 6 Degrees of Dan Driessen. Basically, it's where I take a player and I see how far removed he is from Dan Driessen from a similarity standpoint. To do that, I look at the similarity scores as given to us by baseballreference.com here and I'm here on Dallas Keuchel's baseball reference page. So you can play this game in all kinds of ways. So I thought I would today see how far Dallas Keuchel is removed from any Hall of Fame pitcher, if we can even get there, in a reasonable amount of time. We'll cut it off at 20 steps or so. We'll see where we go though. So to play the game, you load a player page, and then you go down to their similarity scores. And when we check out the list of similar players, we can see similar players through age 30, which is where Keuchel ended last year, most similar by ages, and then similar pitchers overall. We're going to concentrate on this column for now, but you can also scan down through here and see that no Hall of Famers immediately stand out. Baseball Reference denotes Hall of Famers with an asterisk. So anyway, here we go. So to play, you click on the first guy on the list under similar pitchers or players, and in this case it's Matt Latos, who played for my Reds for a while but has had some trouble sticking around as of late. And we go down to his similarity scores. And we pick out the first guy on that list, and we see that we've already been to Keuchel's page, but he's number 2 anyway. So Julio Teheran is number 1. Or it's Tehran, sorry, I pronounced that wrong. So had some good years with the Braves. Let's see where he is. Interestingly, that they are teammates at this point. That Keuchel and Tehran are teammates. Okay, so Tehran's number 1 comp is Latos, but since we've already been there, we'll go down to number 2, which is Jim Nash. So cool. One of the cool things about this game is that you get to see players that you haven't thought of forever or that you never really even knew about. So Jim Nash pitched in the majors from 66 through 72, ending up with that really awful 72 Phillies team. Looks like he contributed well to that at 0-8 and 6.27 ERA. So his number 1 comp is Tehran. So we'll go with his number 2, which is David Palmer. 80s fans probably remember him with the Expos and the Braves and Phillies and so forth. Not a Hall of Famer. So the search continues. So we come down here and we see, actually, I may have missed this earlier, but Palmer's number 1 comp at age 21 was Pedro Martinez. So he's a Hall of Famer. That's not really what we're looking for. We're looking for career value or, a career similarity. So Palmer's number 1 comp is Jim Nash. Number 2 is Vern Bickford. So we'll look at Bickford. Not really familiar with Vern Bickford. You can see him looking serious there in his, Boston Braves uniform. Yeah. So he pitched from 48 through 54. Led the National League in batters faced in 1950. So he threw a lot of pitches. Okay, now we bounce back to a guy that I remember, Steve Busby, or at least remember his baseball cards. He was actually retired as I started to collect cards, but he was a really good pitcher for the Kansas City Royals right before they really took off in the mid to late 70s. So see some names: Mike Lacoste, Mike Boddicker, Kirk McCaskill from my era. And number 2 is Britt Burns, definitely right there in my wheelhouse. He was part of that 83 White Sox team that won the AL West and then lost to the Baltimore Orioles in the ALCS before the Orioles won the World Series against the Philadelphia Phillies. Okay. Number 1 is Jaime Garcia, or Jamie Garcia. He just finished up last year. I don't know if he's planning to come back or what. Let's see, find Garcia's Similarity Scores. If I can get my browser to cooperate. I'm jumping around a little bit, sorry about that. So John Neese is number 1. He is listed as a free agent. Let's see who shows up in his list. Okay, so we have Dontrelle Willis popping in there. Over here, Dontrelle Willis, Odalis Perez. But number 1 is Jeremy Hellickson. And he's been around a while now. Let's see who his comps are. So we've got Andy Ashby, Bronson Arroyo, and John Neese, but number 2, and the one we'll go with, is Oil Can Boyd. Definitely part of my collecting fabric is Oil Can. Quite a character for the Red Sox in the mid-80s, part of that 86 team that nearly won the World Series. 16-10, 3.78 ERA, 1.11 ERA plus. Just, solid player. Again, big personality. Let's see who his comps are. This will be interesting. Farmer Ray at age 23, Doug Drabek, Mark Clark. Jeremy Hellickson is number 1 overall. And then has been McDonald, who was, kind of touted as the next Roger Clemens when he was drafted in, 1989. Didn't quite pan out that way for McDonald. You can see he still put up almost 21 wins above replacement in his career. Had a couple of decent seasons. Not quite a Cy Young candidate, but a better career than I had in the majors. And so here we are, coming up on 9 or 10 minutes in the video, and we haven't hit a Hall of Famer yet. So I think it's safe to say Keuchel has a way to go to be a Hall of Famer, but ending up with Ben McDonald and Oil Can Boyd in your comps several steps down the road is not such a bad deal. So we'll see what Dallas does in the next year or two. And in the meantime, I'll probably be here playing the 6 Degrees of Dan Driessen, and I encourage you to do so too if you want to spend a little time, waste if you want, the time on some baseball trivia and trivialities. If you like this video, please go ahead and click like and consider subscribing to the channel. And you can find my blog at waxpackguides.com. Thanks a lot.